All right. What's going on, boys? It's Daddy here. And I got we're back on the podcast. I got Zombie with me here today. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello. That's me. I am Zombie.
With an X.
With an X. I'm too quirky for a Z.
So yeah. So today we're going to be talking about I guess the awkwardness of the intro was pretty appropriate because we're gonna be talking about middle school cringe because Zombie and I actually went to middle school together back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
In 87.
and yeah, we thought it would just be fun to kind of crack that open and just get down to business and talk about some of the cringe because there was a lot of it, and we did experience a lot of it together too.
Yes.
So
yes, we did.
Did you want to get into anything right off the gate?
Right off the gate, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear middle school cringe is the day that I woke up and decided to wear a Robin cosplay from Fire Emblem to middle school.
Oh my gosh!
Like, in all honesty, I'm proud of myself for having the balls to do that. But at the same time, why? Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah. Didn't you say that it wasn't there some other part of the story about how wasn't it close to Halloween?
It was the 30th, and to be fair, it was somewhat warranted because my after school program was having a little bit of a party and I didn't want to change. But still, I still just wore it. Coat and all. And then there was an announcement at the end of the day saying, "Attention all students, please do not wear Halloween costumes to school on Halloween." And I'm like, it's not Halloween, it's the 30th. So that's how that saga ended, but I had the balls to just show up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm Robin from Fire Emblem. Screw you.
That's really funny. Yeah. I think I don't know if I ever wore anything goofy to school. I think well, I've been wearing I have this hot dog costume that I've worn every year for like 6 or 7 years now. It's been an insanely long time. But I don't think I ever really wore anything goofy to school. I always just kind of had the classic look of like monocolored pants, monocolored shirt, you know?
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe.
It is the vibe. You have like plain t-shirts all the time. It's impressive.
It is, yeah.
How lacking of graphics your t-shirts have.
All of your t-shirts are graphical.
They are. I've got a graphic one.
Yeah, I got the Demon Slayer
got the
t-shirt.
Demon Slayer t-shirt.
But I'm like the exact opposite. I always just wear boring clothes. But
I mean, hey, I think it's iconic. Like, you know.
You think I'm an icon?
Yeah,
for
you're
it?
an icon.
I mean, I do kind of have this brand about me just wearing jeans and an orange t-shirt.
The orange t-shirt.
That's the presentation, you know.
Yeah.
But I have toyed around with changing it to a pale pink t-shirt to match the Jigglypuff vibe.
Wanna...
I don't know.
Change your brand.
Sometimes I wonder how different my life would have been if I played like Smash Bros in middle school, because like I discovered Smash Bros like my freshman year is when I got my Nintendo Switch, and you actually largely introduced me to the game back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember the first day I got my Switch, I got Nintendo Switch Online, and we pulled up into an arena, and you were like, "Hey, we're not freaking casuals, no items," you know. And I was like, I was going through the list of my rule set that I made, and I was like, maybe we can leave like something, and like the green shell can't be that bad. So I left the green shell in at a low spawn rate, and then I remember it came in, and you just SD'd 3 times, and you're like, we're not casuals.
We're not casuals.
But it's like, it's crazy looking back, because like, way back like 3rd grade, I went to a friend's house, and we played like Smash Brothers Brawl. And I remember he was a Game & Watch main.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, it's just crazy to me that happened, because like, I don't know, what was it like being a Smash player back in middle school? Wasn't that the Smash 4 era?
It was the Smash 4 era.
Oh my goodness.
Smash Bros. Ruined my life. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would be wildly more successful, conventionally successful, if I did not play Smash Bros. Smash 4 I only picked up Smash 4 as much as I did because they had the Wii U at like my after school program. It was a daycare. I went to daycare in middle school. But they had that there, and I just wanted to like beat all the other kids, and so I bought it.
Yeah.
And
naturally,
it's all downhill from there. The online system in Smash 4 was a lot better, I would say, which is saying something.
Than Ultimate.
Than Ultimate, because it wasn't even that good in the first place.
But didn't you say that you would just like get home from school and just like baby rage on quick play for like 2 hours?
I would. I
guess what was it called in Smash 4?
What was it called?
Wasn't it called like For Glory?
Yeah, For Glory. I would sit like 2 inches away from my TV screen, play For Glory, and just absolutely rage at the screen. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I kept my sanity. I did that like every day.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I really forgot what I was finna say.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's just like I wonder how different I would have been. What I would have turned out to be if I played Smash Bros. Like if I played Smash 4, because like I had a Wii, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing too. Is like I wonder what life would have been like if I'd been on the GameCube grind as a kid.
Oh my gosh.
Because like it seems like there are a lot of like really like stuff like Ocarina of Time and like those games that are on. Wait, is Ocarina of Time GameCube? Where's that?
I don't remember.
Is that N64?
I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure it's N64. I don't know. Anyways, I just like. But yeah, like if I discovered Smash at a young age, I probably. Well, do you think that would have made me more cringe?
Yes. I'm speaking from experience. Yes, it would have. It would have.
What games was I even playing in middle school? Let me think. I mean, like
Terraria.
That's true. I mean, like in 8th grade, I guess at the end of our 8th grade year is when COVID hit,
mm-hmm.
right? And like I was like on the Terraria grind, but also like I played a lot of Mario Kart. I think
yes, you did.
I did. I think I discovered Stardew Valley around like 7th grade too. But yeah, back to the whole cringe thing. 6th grade it was bad for me. 6th grade was deplorable.
Oh.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but
looking back on it now, it was very cringe. But
like I'll say this: 7th grade was the worst year, but 6th grade I was the most cringe.
I think I can agree with that, honestly.
It's like 7th grade is just like the absolute pit of human existence.
I think so. I think you're correct.
But like 6th grade is just like where you're still like a little shit-eating kid, but like think you're a big kid.
Exactly.
And you're just not.
No.
And you learned what the shit word is, and like it's just like this wild mix of garbage.
You
I remember like
freaks.
Yeah, but our 6th grade English teacher, oh my goodness. Like I could get into we had the same teacher, different class hour. What should we call him?
Mr. Bongus.
Mr. Bongus.
Mr. Bongus.
That's a pretty appropriate name. Mr. Bongus,
Mr.
right?
Bongus.
He was just an absolute goofball.
He was.
And like he barely took his job seriously. Like he would try to strip as much of the curriculum away as possible. I remember like in the 3rd quarter one time he was like, "Hey guys, so we're gonna have to do short answer responses on this test. I'm sorry, but I got to do them sometime." So like keep in mind, like we took honors English or English plus or whatever it was called at the time. But we were like supposed to be like the upper level.
And we just didn't do English.
Literally our weekly assignments were like doing a word search.
Do
you remember that?
Those.
It was the worst because I would literally rather do something boring and stupid because I'm bad at word searches.
I know. They were just. I'm convinced there was one word search that just didn't have a word in it. I'm convinced.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just
wouldn't
convinced.
be surprised. Or probably you already circled it and just didn't know.
I don't know. I had my father look at that word search.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, I need to finish this word search. And he couldn't find it. My mom couldn't find it. And if my mom and dad couldn't find it, then who could?
Exactly. But yeah, Mr. Bongus, he I can't believe you came up. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Mr. Bongus.
So anyways, Mr. Bongus, he basically didn't grade our papers or speeches. He pretty much like if you wrote literally anything, you would get an A. I'm convinced he didn't even read a single one because he never gave us feedback either.
Because didn't you always have to go up to the front of the class in the podium?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, Mr. Bongus was really just, like, a washed-up drama teacher. Because, like, I'm pretty sure what happened was he was, like, a theater teacher and then got himself into a little bit of trouble, maybe with the law, maybe a little oopsie.
Whoopsie-doopsie.
Or something to that effect. I think it was some sort of driving something. But, there was another English teacher at our middle school who, used to teach, like, honors at the high school, but then got demoted to, like, core at the middle school because she got a DUI. But that's a different story.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so, like, his real area was, like, public speaking and drama. And he just was, like, teaching a class, you know? Kind of like football teachers that teach health.
Yeah.
Like, don't care, you know, that kind of thing. But, so he actually was pretty good at, like, getting us to speak. Yeah. Like, he would have us do improv projects, do a lot of speeches. And at the end of the year, we did a play. Like, our class put on a play.
No, I didn't.
And that's a different story. It's a different... Wasn't your entire job to, like, sit in the corner and, like, turn the lights on and off?
My job was I was supposed to be, like, on set design. But I was so socially awkward and, like, scared of everybody that, like, I went up to the people I was supposed to be working with and I'm like, hey, what do you need? And they're like, I don't know, bring some cups or something.
Cups?
And so I brought, like, cups, and they didn't even end up using them. And I'm like, do you need anything else? And they're like, we'll let you know. And so they never let me know. And
That's so awkward.
I sat there and, like, did nothing because I was too scared to go up and ask again.
Bro. Yeah. I guess I don't know if the awkwardness falls in quite in line with the cringe, but it's a closely related topic.
It is. I was just oh.
In those plays, I was actually a lead. It was my little middle school fling at the time. We'll call her Trista.
I was gonna Mrs. Bongus.
No, bro. But yeah, we had like a little like, oh I like you kind of thing going on, and she and one of her friends were were like the directors of the play or whatever. We were doing like a High School Musical knockoff.
Yeah.
Which was High School Musical, but like a shortened version, you know. I don't know if it was that. I don't know. But anyways, I was you know, since we were in the little like you thing, I was kind of banking on us being Troy and Gabriella. You know. Yeah. So we could have I could have been the basketball boy.
You could have been.
Which is ironic.
Get your head in the game.
Gotta get you. Yeah. But she actually ended up casting us as Ryan and Sharpay. So
I'm sorry.
Okay, so getting into like some deep cringe here. I guess more awkwardness than anything. But it was really bad. Trista and her friends kind of held like these audition things for the different roles to like see like, oh, can you sing? Oh, can you dance? And this was before I really even got into singing that much, and I'm dreadful at dancing, right? I remember they were doing like and they were like both in the theater program and stuff, and had all that stuff on lock. And I remember we were at the dance audition. I was like doing so terrible, and Trista just like I could tell she felt so bad for me specifically. She was like, "Oh no, it's okay," you know, and I was like, "No, I'm doing like I was like, no, this sucks," you know. I was like doing bad, embarrassing myself in front of my woman in 6th grade, you know. So then I distinctly remember after that was over, I like ran out and went to the bathroom and just cried.
No, that's Trista, more like Triste. That's oh no.
Muy Triste.
Muy Triste.
But yeah, that was pretty bad. But what happened was in the middle of the production of High School Musical. For Mr. Bongus's 6th grade class, right? We were, what happened was, you know, we were having our little like you fling thing, right? And then she, over Google Hangouts, she cut that off one day, right? And
not Google Hangouts.
I know, not Google Hangouts, but what happened was after that, we were still in the middle of the play thing. So we hadn't done it yet. So like the day after, we had to rehearse the choreography for Bop to the Top, which is like the main musical number we were doing together. So like we had to like, you know, like spin each other around and all this stuff.
Oh my god.
It was pretty awesome. But I remember what happened was it was really funny because like Mr. Bongus basically just like rated the he just like raided the stash of like microphones that the school had, and so we had like next to no real equipment, but it was a pretty impressive setup, all things considered. But like we had like one dynamic handheld microphone and a couple like clip-ons, and they weren't balanced. They weren't balanced for shit.
No.
And so Trista had the clip-on and I had the dynamic microphone, like the handheld one, and like you literally could not hear her because it like the mic wasn't working, so it was just me and the Bob to the Top duet that you could hear from the back. And for the choreography, we had a ladder, and what we did is I climbed, like at the end of the song, we both climbed to the top of the ladder, and when we said bop, like in the bop to the top, bop ba da, you know, at the very end, when we said bop, she hit me on the, like she like bopped me in the head because, you know, it was funny. I had like a little like Jaguar printed fedora on, you know, and she gave me a little bop as we were bopping, because we were at the top, so she gave me a bop, you know.
Yeah.
So then but when we were actually in the performance, keep in mind you can't hear her, only me. She bopped me so hard that I literally almost fell off of the ladder.
That would have been. I would have paid to see that. I'm sorry. That's hard. That's awful. But like, and just,
dude. But yeah, yes, that was. So yeah, but like back to Mr. Bongus's class, just in general, right? Like, so for these speeches, that he basically didn't care.
No.
Like, he would have us like get up and do improv and stuff. And I remember like I was like, okay, like this is like getting into the nitty gritty of being cringe, because like I was like straight up, like just raw cringe, and like I wish you could have been there to see it, but it was at the point in my life where I thought that the B movie was like the peak of comedy. So if that gives you an idea of the absolute state I was in.
I mean, it's appropriate for the time. Like it was the peak of comedy. It was the peak of comedy.
I guess so, but
it's just Fortnite balls now. Like times change.
times change.
Times change.
But yeah. So I just like most of the time my paper projects that I like gave a speech. First of all, they were obscenely long, and like he didn't do anything to limit us, right?
No.
So like literally. One time I gave a speech that was like, I want to say like one of them was like literally a half an hour. Like
dead ass.
I'm not even joking.
Dead ass.
I wrote like literally an epic about like that was just like a bunch of B movie memes.
Oh my god.
And it's like literally, bro, like literally, like my paper, like they would follow the basic story format we were supposed to. But then all of them would just have like we're just like riddled with like just bad like memes and like bad like references.
MLG pro Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, like I had like one of my friends in the class, and we were both kind of in on it. So like it was mostly just like a set of inside jokes between the two of us, but like projected to the whole class. You know what I mean? And it's like I remember the one selling point of my speech is that all of them involve Shrek, every one of them. So like, it got to the point where one of the speeches we did that was actually kind of a cool idea was like it was like basically a fanfic, where it was like
the class reunion.
Yes, it was like a 20-year class reunion of that class, like talking about where everyone would be. So it was basically just like systematic bullying.
It was. I was so mean. Like looking back on that paper, I'm like,
there was one kid. Who was this kid's I might even have to name him. I'll call him William Afton. William Afton was he wasn't he wasn't like the sharpest knife in the drawer, right? But like
the sharpest tool in the shed?
Yeah,
Is that a Shrek reference?
but it was just like the kid just got kind of shit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it was Mr. Bongus like did it half the time. Like literally, like there was one time when Mr. Bongus was like, "Hey Will, like go out to the hallway. You know, I heard they got something out there for you." And he lured Will out to the hallway, then William Afton out the hallway, then locked the door.
Michael, don't leave me.
And the kid was like knocking on the door trying to get back in, and there was one girl who was like, I feel bad. Can I let him in? Mr. Bongus was like, nope. He's fine out there. He'll be fine.
Michael.
But I remember like in my speech, I made William Afton like a janitor who was like who was who was like trying to like shake me down.
Oh my
for
gosh.
like cash. But
yeah.
the whole plot of that story was that in the end there was like this whole world organization, and like it was, I'm not even gonna get into it, but basically in my story the main wow factor was that Mr. Bongus was revealed to be Shrek, and he turned into Shrek.
Oh my god.
And it was just like, it was, it's like, this is so bad.
You should post that on AO3. Hashtag Mr. Bongus. Hashtag Shrek. Hashtag Mr. Bongus. Not X-Shrek. That would, because they're the same person. Self-cessed? I don't know.
Nah. But yeah, so Mr. Bongus, the thing is, like, I remember I went up to him in class because he kept encouraging the whole Shrek thing. He thought it was funny.
Oh my god.
And
he would.
One time I went up to him in class and I was like, "Hey, Mr. Bongus, I feel like this joke is like done for. Like, it's not funny anymore. No one thinks it's funny anymore." He's like, "Oh no, that's okay. That's okay."
Just grabs you by the neck. You have to keep going.
Literally what he did. He was like, "Listen, you gotta just, they say you beating a dead horse. You just gotta beat this horse till the end of the year. Then you can leave it behind you. He's like, just really run it into the ground, just that'll be funny. And I was like, I don't know if that was good advice or not, but I did keep doing it. So.
He sounds like a very bad manager, like Alvin and the Chipmunks manager.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, like those stories were just so bad, and like, I think I didn't really expect this, but getting this is some real cringe. Getting back. Trista's a recurring character now. Trista, again, Mr. Bongus, back at it, Mr. Bongus, in our middle school, we had this little program. It was like, the 6 pillars of like being a good person. It was like respect and honesty or whatever,
I've forgotten.
I forgot too.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
I forgot.
But basically, he was like, yeah, so this teacher's got these little tickets, and we can give them to you if we see you doing something nice. And why don't we'll just practice right now. I'll give all you a little ticket, and you can just say something nice to somebody next to you,
Mm-hmm.
And we were all that was kind of awkward. It was like, say something nice and you get rewarded. I don't know. But it was, I turned to my left, because I was in the very front row, right? I turned to my left, that person was talking. I turned to my right, that person was talking. So I turn around, and there's just Trista. And she just looks at me, and she just kind of has that the emoji that just like the straight line mouth.
Yeah.
She had that face on. She was just like, we really got to do this right now, don't we? It was just like a silent agreement. And she just looked at me and she was like, I like your shirt.
Yeah.
Just something low effort. And I sized her up for a second. I looked at her, gave it a good look-see, and I was like, you know what, Trista? I gotta be honest. You have really nice eyebrows.
I mean, that's a great compliment. Like if somebody like says you have nice eyebrows, that means they genuinely took time out of their day to analyze the hair above your eyes.
Yeah, and really. But it was just like so out of pocket that like she thought it was really funny, and I guess she thought I was funny because we eventually had our little deal.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. Yeah, God. But yeah. I'm trying. There's just like, so, I think like, yeah, 6th grade was the majority of it. And I think a lot of it had to do with English class, just because of the amount of opportunities Mr. Bongus gave me to be cringe.
Oh my gosh, as much as I look back on Mr. Bongus and say, what a silly little man.
What a silly little man.
I will say he greatly improved my public speaking ability.
That's true.
He did a good job of that, which I thank him for, despite the play happening, which I did not enjoy. But thank you, Mr. Bongus, for your efforts.
Yeah, but yeah, we got into circling way back the Robin cosplay at school. Didn't you say that in 6th grade you would like quote Fire Emblem?
Not just 6th grade. This was like, I want to say all throughout middle school, but I remember This is painful.
Wasn't it like you were in like PE,
I
like
was
tennis
in
class, and you're like,
gym class.
I won't lose.
Like, I was in gym class, and they handed us, like, tennis rackets, because it was the tennis unit.
Yeah.
And so, I remember I, like, used the tennis racket as, like, a sword. Like, I pretended it was... The falchion, and I'm like, oh, what was the quote? It was like, I'm Prince Martha Valtea, and for my brethren, I cannot afford to fail now. And I would, like, take the tennis racket and swing it around, and oh my...
Did you say that just like at lunch with your friends, you would just like randomly like spout Fire Emblem quotes?
I would bring my 3DS to school almost every day in 6th grade, and sometimes I would be like, guys, look, and I would play them Fire Emblem cutscenes. I would make them like watch Fire Emblem cutscenes. I don't know how some of them are still my friends to this day, so they're the real ones if you stuck around.
For real.
So that was... Oh, I'm still cringe now, but I don't...
You've grown into it, though.
I have. I don't know if do I still go around quoting Fire Emblem? Do I?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think it's much in abundance.
I won't lose.
I won't lose. I won't lose. You guys. You guys.
Yeah. Did you have any other like major stories?
Major stories. I had the archery team was, I think, the other big one.
I don't know if I might know this one.
But my parents are like, dude, all you do is play Fire Emblem all day and Smash Bros. And we need to like get you involved in extracurriculars. And this one you don't even have to move around that much for. Yeah. So how about you try archery? And so I went to the archery team, and the archery team was one of the worst, I guess, sport experiences I've ever had, because I didn't have my own bow. I had to share with somebody else.
That's rough. And
this person and I came to practice on different days, so we couldn't really coordinate what to do with this bow. And this person kept changing like the density of this bow without letting me know, and I was shooting horribly because like my density changed every day for some reason.
Yeah, you mean like the poundage on it?
That's it. The density. I don't know if
density is really the most descriptive way.
We had the weight or whatever.
I was on the archery team for a while. We use like the compound bows that you can like tighten and loosen. Yeah. So to change like the draw weight. The draw weight. That's probably the technical term. But,
that's the density.
The density.
But I was just awful, and I kept bruising my...
Oh my gosh,
my right arm.
Your forearm.
My forearm, because
I had to get like a leather guard for my arm.
Yeah.
And I could never shoot without it because it was
just bad. And then I remember one day that we actually came to practice on the same day, and like we had to like fight for this bow, which I didn't want to shoot. I brought my 3DS to archery class and played Fire Emblem, and I don't remember what it was, but like I remember this person's mom showed up, and they like weren't sharing the bow with me, and their mom was like, gosh, Mason, I'll call him Mason, share the bow. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And they're like, Mason. And it was just like overwhelming, so much so that I like, this was my bathroom cry story. I went to the bathroom and I cried because like I was so bad at shooting, and it was just a mess. And I just played Fire Emblem like pretty much the entire time, and I honestly hated it. I went to like 2 archery tournaments, and I hated both of them. And yeah, that was... I'm glad that era of my life is over, because my father actually is like, they wanted me to stick with archery, and so they're like, we'll buy you your own bow. And so they got this $50 bow case for me. And then I came home the next day and said, I don't want to do this anymore. So we were stuck with a $50 bow case.
Dude. I also understand the feeling of disappointing your parents. Maybe that wasn't the best way to phrase it. But I mean, like more like elementary school, my parents would, because my dad was like a varsity athlete in high school, so they would like try to like, hey, buddy, you'd be good at basketball, and I just wasn't. I just was never athletic, you know. So it's like my parents have just kind of had to come to terms with me being a gamer, you know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's fine. There's la banda de marchar.
True.
That's
Get the PE credits
get the
that way. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, it's marching band. But did you have any other big stories you wanted to tell?
I don't. Oh, gosh, I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. I'm glad. I don't know. Middle school, I was very cringe, but I think I had a good time in middle school. I was cringe and I didn't care. I'm cringe now and I don't really care, but I wasn't cringe to that extent. Like, if I was that cringe to that extent right now, I think I'd care.
Nowadays, you're just edgy and quirky.
I'm just edgy and quirky. I'm quirky and different.
Back in the day, you were, like, proper cringe.
I was proper cringe. I wore, like, this not navy, that's not the correct term. This army green, like, coat that came down to my shins every day. And I never brushed my hair. And I had glasses that I never wore.
You had glasses?
I had glasses, but
I guess I know that you'd never wear your glasses.
And I'd put them on my forehead, like, all the time. Like, I'd have them, and I'd never wear them. They'd just be, like, on my head. It was stupid. I looked awful. I'm not saying I look, like, especially great now, but I would say it's an improvement.
Yeah.
The bar was low, though, I will say.
That's true. But yeah, I think, I don't know if this is cringe as much as just sad. But, in 7th grade, I reached a point where I had a big falling out with, like, my two best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, my Trista wasn't really feeling it the way I was in 6th grade. So she cut that off on Google Hangouts. You know, I don't have any friends anymore.
Oh, no.
So it was, like, there was a period where, like, I literally sat by myself at lunch every day for, like, months. And, like, I don't mean, like, oh, like, I didn't talk to anyone. Like, I mean literally an entire table that seats, like, 20 people was just me.
Dead ass.
I'm not even, literally an entire, like, long lunchroom table.
Now, I'm just sad now.
Exactly. I don't know if that's cringe, but that's really did happen.
That's just unfortunate. That's more than unfortunate. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. You found the furry table eventually.
Yeah, in 8th grade, I met you and the rest of our friend group at the time, and that's when things really turned around for me. That's when I feel like I started to find people that I really connected with, and I mean, I guess it's like because like I like me being like a gamer and all of that. It's such a dumb word, but me like playing like like being a gamer,
a gamer.
That's never been like the part of me that was cringe. The part of me that was cringe was like the B movie memes and the Shrek memes, and oh my gosh, I didn't even mention this, but in 6th grade it got so bad that there were literally like half the grade knew me as Cameron, and the other half of the grade literally knew me as like Onion Boy, and or the Shrek kid. Like I remember like in 7th, like it was like in 8th grade. Some kid, like, we were in PE class, and we were, like, partnering up for something. He's like, oh, hey, aren't you, like, the Onion Boy? And I was like, no, bro.
You built a reputation.
I was like, I left that behind me.
Oh, no.
But
oh, my goodness.
I mean, like, back in 6th grade, my parents would ground me. Like, if I didn't do the dishes or whatever. Like, I was pretty edgy, right? But, what they would do is they wouldn't let me play the piano or play video games. Because they knew I enjoyed that. But for some reason, they would let me watch movies. So what I would do whenever I got grounded, which was like fairly often, is I would just marathon the Shrek series.
Oh my.
And just like play with my old Legos. So it's like, and like, I actually do like the Shrek franchise, to be honest. Like, aside from like the whole like cringe part of it from back in the day, like I think I enjoy the movies.
They're good movies.
But like, it was bad. You can't be walking around known as the Onion Boy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess you can. I mean, you lived it, but that's.
I did live it, but yeah, in 8th grade, I feel like that was the point where I was like starting to kind of find myself a little bit, and I think just like having you and the boys as friends, just like I don't know, that helped me a lot. I remember in 8th grade, I guess this could be considered cringe too, but remember how we? Oh, was it? Oh my gosh. You remember when I performed in front of the whole school?
I have a recording of that. Yes, I do. You have a recording? I have a recording of that.
No.
I have a very bad recording.
But yeah, literally, it was the most scuffed thing of all time. Because, like, I don't remember how I was selected for it, to be honest. I don't know if it was, like, through the talent show and I was, like, one of the winners. I really don't remember.
Wasn't it Bongus? Wasn't it Mr. Bongus?
Was it Mr. Bongus?
I thought it was Mr. Bongus.
Well, Mr. Bongus, like, coordinated it. But I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I probably has something to do with the talent show.
Mm-hmm.
But, I sang Fly Me to the Moon, right? And I wore a fedora.
Yes, you did.
And obviously I only did it because, like, you know, that's kind of, it was like back in the day Frank Sinatra wore fedoras and it was actually cool. But I don't think that stops it from, I don't think, even though it was a reference, I don't think that stops it from being cringe. Like, what do you think?
I mean,
I also was definitely kind of a nice guy in middle school though, so.
I mean,
not like at the level of like Tips Hat Milady.
Milady.
But like, I here's the thing, it's like, we all laugh at the nice guys in The Sims, but like that, like guaranteed all of us were there at one point.
I mean,
you know? Like, yeah, it might have been in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But everyone was there at some point.
Oh.
I didn't mean to unearth that story.
I was a simp.
I know you were.
I was a simp.
But what was I? Oh yeah, the talent show. But I remember it was the most scuffed setup of all time. Literally, the microphone, like, first of all, the entire sound system was being poured through a Bluetooth speaker.
Yes.
And then, like, I remember there were, like, a kid, like, connected to it and played, like, a Minecraft parody.
There were, like, 2 different occasions. One kid did the Minecraft parody. And then the other kid, there was another one that, like, got this extremely vulgar rap song connected to
oh my gosh.
the Bluetooth speaker. And I have a recording of that. I don't have the recording of the Minecraft song because I wanted to record a little bit of this show, like, to show my parents. Yeah. And so I have a little bit of each performance, including you.
That's really awkward.
Don't worry, it's not. I'm not gonna blackmail you or anything.
All right.
But that's. I thought. I'm definitely not going to blackmail you because my cringe dialogue was also in that video, and I don't want those to surface either.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. It was just like the setup for it was so like we had the Bluetooth speaker that everything was going through, but literally the microphone was taped to a bundle of arrows, like for school archery, and the arrows were pushed through a cymbal stand, like a drum set cymbal stand.
Innovative. Oh my gosh, gym teachers
it was literally because like what our like even though Mr. Bungus or Bingus even though Mr. Bingus was like coordinating like the actual talent part of it, the sound system for some ungodly reason was handled by our gym teacher. So he was just like, "Hey, I got these arrows."
Oh my gosh.
It was just so wild. But yeah. Are there any other like major like cringe stories that we're forgetting?
I don't know if this is cringe so much so as it is just pathetic. But all
right, I'm down.
We had like a biking unit in gym class.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You have a story for this one as well.
I do too.
But my story for this one is we had this awful trail in the back of the school.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And there was this part where you were going downhill straight towards a tree, and you either had to swerve out of the way of the tree one way or the other, or you had to stop. And I was going downhill so fast. I can ride a bike, not well at all, though. And I was just going downhill. And I didn't swerve out of the way in time or brake, and I just crashed headfirst into this tree.
You just ate shit.
I just ate shit. And then I got up, because like you were supposed to have buddies, and my buddies are like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And I got up and I did the rest of the biking unit.
Let's go. That's why you wear a helmet, kids.
That is why you wear a helmet.
But what happened to me? I think you know what I'm gonna say.
I do.
So, we all know I'm not the most athletic chap, right? But for the biking unit, they had all this like dumb bullshit we had to do, like you have to start and stop a certain way. Mm-hmm. So we were like practicing starting and stopping. We were in like the like the little build like the huge building in the like the back of the school that has like three basketball courts and like a full track and stuff, you know. So we were like riding from one end to the other, and the entire class got to the other end, and I was having like, here's the thing, I was like just tall enough to reach like the higher level like bike class, but the seat didn't go low enough. Like I really should have been a class lower, but I was like just the correct height for it. So like I was with this bike where like the seat was too tall for me. It was like several inches too tall, but I kind of just had to work with it. So I was having like a ton of trouble trying to do this technical dumb startup thing that you had to do, and I just like couldn't do it. So like I was like halfway through the like the course. All the other kids were waiting for me, right? So they're half of them are probably like just idly watching me, you know. So I try to get going, and like here's the thing. Oh yeah, it was the thing where like I don't like. What wasn't when you stop or when you start, you have to like get off of the seat and like get in front of the seat or something?
Something like that. I vaguely remember.
It was like, I think it was like, yeah, like when you stop, you have to like be standing, like, I don't know, it was something really stupid. Like we weren't allowed to sit down for part of it, like on the seat, right? So like we had to like lift ourselves up off of it. I think also like kind of when you're pedaling, you're supposed to do that. But anyway, so like the seat was too high for me, so I could barely slide myself off while keeping my feet on the pedals. So like, I think I was stopping and I had to like get up off the seat, and I was like trying to like push myself forward because I couldn't do it, and I like slipped off the seat, and like I was like trying so hard to like, I had so much force going forward that I just like went forward and just like I just racked the boys on the bike. No, that's what happened.
Not the family jewels.
Literally. And like in front of my entire class and my gym teacher in the middle of like the basketball court.
Oh my gosh.
Like, dude, after class, I went to the bathroom stall in the locker room and checked shit out because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to have kids after that. Right? Like, I'm not even joking.
Oh my gosh.
I am a bit melodramatic with that kind of thing, but.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a trip. That was a trip. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, gym class was.
We could make another podcast.
We could do a gym class.
Honestly,
I didn't mind gym class that much. In all honesty, ironically, I didn't.
You know. Like, here's the thing. I got into a little bit of middle school cringe with the story with my little relationship, but there's so much, like, I would have to make a different podcast for that.
Welcome back to Daddy Big's devastating memories.
Middle school cringe part 2. It's like we're past 40 minutes. We're at like 42 minutes.
Gosh dang.
So we should probably wrap it up pretty quick, but yeah, everything from quoting Fire Emblem to racking your nuts on a bicycle.
A bicycle.
We've been through it all. So
yeah.
Yeah. Any closing remarks?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
any profound comments on being cringe?
If you want to quote Fire Emblem, you will find people out there that will let you quote Fire Emblem whenever you want, and you just.
You gotta find the right people.
You gotta find the right people. Just be as cringe as you want, because a wise man once said, "We're gonna be on a rock that will blow up one day." So we're just be cringe.
I think your exact words were like, "Who TF cares?"
Who TF
this
cares?
Is like Discord. Like who the frick cares if you're cringe? Like we live on a tiny space rock that's gonna explode one day.
Yeah, you just quote Fire Emblem as much as you want.
So yeah, that's why I started this gaming channel.
Exactly.
No regrets, Do I regret being cringe?
You shouldn't.
I think that's questionable.
It's like it's part of your soul. It is
a deep part of me that I keep deep down,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that about covers it. Maybe we'll make a part 2 that kind of goes in a different direction, because I have so many stories of like relationship cringe from middle school I didn't even touch on.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even dip into, and that could be a whole nother episode. So
oh my gosh.
Well, I'll get on that at some point.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thanks for listening, boys, and see you in the next one.